place that may very well be the end of our journey.
This is cool too. This whole transport, so that you can kind of like go between the I guess settlements, plateaus, whatever. So you don't have to like go all the way down and climb all the way back up. If you can climb, I don't know if you can technically if you can jump and climb in this one yet, but we'll have to take a look. This looks like it's definitely probably some sort of boss. I'm just gonna say, just because, like, that's the vibe I get at least from it. You know, it's like throwing giant, you know, asteroid crystal blobs at us. So it's like run, run, don't get hit by those. That's pretty cool. And then just like this, I mean, it is pretty cool. Oh, I also like it too, and how the main character, these look like all the ultimates. The main character can actually fight now. Instead of like Arknights is a different type of game. In that case, it was like the doctor was just sort of directing everybody, but wasn't getting onto the field themselves. The whole idea was that the operators were trying to protect the doctor. But this one is like, nope, the doctor's getting right in there. They're not gonna sit back and watch anymore. Some of these ultimates, they look very cool. I'm going to assume they're the ultimates because the ultimates tend to be super flashy and stuff. But we have like that one. Here's the dragon girls, and there's the wolf guy. I don't know how I feel about the stuff coming out of one of the eye sockets. But that's just my personal thing. It's one of those to probably get used to. No big thing. But still, Ultimate still. I like how they kind of have different color themes. Yeah, because it's like the director is kind of like a yellow orange, and or the doctor this one, and then this one's more yellow white maybe. This one's definitely blue, and then this one's red. So I kind of wonder. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna put like in an elemental system, but I guess they'd have to, right? Because they usually break it down that way, where you have an elemental system or energy type system, and then you have they are this type of fighter. You know, that they have a sword or an axe or a bow or whatever. I think in Arknights they didn't necessarily have like elemental; they just had classes. But the colors kind of give me an idea that this is going to be a little bit different. So, and then I think this is the dragon lady that we saw before in one of the running scenes. So yeah, she's definitely a dragon by the horns. She gives me the vibe of a healer, to be honest. I guess maybe it's the skirt that's giving me that idea, but she looks really cool too. I guess also too is like she has that skirt and then she has this thing on her head, kind of looks like a nurse cap. So if she ends up being a healer, I would not be surprised. Especially too with like this piece here, like it looks like a staff. So while she could be blasting out energy blasts with it, it also might be healing. Because I mean, hey, you need healers. You're not going to sort. It's like you can only DPS so far. But and then here's the red-haired lady we saw running as well. So I think it might be a dragon too. She's either a dragon or she's one of those the demon what's I haven't played Arknights for a while, so I forgot all their names. The Sanaz, something like that. He might be one of those too. That's I know they usually go for like a black red theme characters. But it's just, you know, it looks cool. It definitely looks. And then I think this is the girl with the bird girl, because she showed up as white in the first part. But holy cow, with the rise of music in this trailer, I mean, I'm just like, the vibe is just like, yes, take her hand. You got it. It's like, and then the other one, and then the doctor reaches out too, and that slow mo. I know this character. Somebody mentioned that this might be Angela, which is a character from Arknights, and again that brings up the whole idea with the lore of how does this game work in connection with the first Arknights and with like Rhode Islands and stuff. Like, is it the same timeline? Is Endfield an offshoot from from Rhode Islands? What's going on with the whole thing? I mean, it's like, are these characters like the same person? Are they alternate realities? Or are they like descendants and just happen to look like the ones we know? What's going on with that whole? But you can tell from this back shot that's like, yeah, that's an important character. We got to know who that is. So, but super cool in that whole. And then we get to this last pit.
Speaking of which, how should I address you? Administrator? Oracle? Perhaps I can just call you the Doctor.
Yeah, and when they said that, I was like, when they said that, I was just like, oh boy. Yep, we're definitely going into definitely connections with Arknights of the original, which I mean makes complete sense because I mean this is Arknights Endfield, it's not just Enfield, but it's really cool when they put those like, I don't know if you call them Easter eggs, but like little connections, right? So I saw them, I was just like, ooh, So that's like I said though, that's the question. It's like, are they the ones we know? Are they alternate versions? Because like I know, like when you look at Honkai Impact Third and Honkai Star Rail, right? Like we have characters in Star Rail that are basically the ones from Honkai Impact Third, but they are like alternate versions. For example, like Bronya has like two versions in Star Rail. She has the adult version of herself, which is Bronya, and then she has Silverwolf, which is the young version of herself. And they look of course perfectly alike, except one is older and one is younger. You also have like Zila. The only character, they have Himiko, for example. The only character that's in there though that is the same person between Honkai Star Rail and Honkai Impact Third is Welt, who apparently got sucked from his world into the Honkai Star Rail world along with Void Archives. And we haven't seen Void Archives, but at this point in the game. But it did say that when March was rescued, he was one of the ones that actually melted the ice and got her free, and then he left. So he's not on the train with us at this point, but there's a chances are that we might end up running into him later on, which hopefully he becomes playable. That would be really awesome. But getting back to Arknights, so that was that one, and then they also put out a. Now this is a gameplay trailer. Okay, it's a gameplay trailer, and a couple of things where I'll play it through once. And then and we can go back and talk about it. But it says target location, Iridium Research Park. Our mission is to explore the park, establish the automated industry complex, use essential equipment, and eliminate any lurking threats. Our intel indicates that this area has been blighted. Stay alert, Administrator. So I kind of like how they put it as end fitter since they're Endfield instead of AD Administrator. So I thought that was kind of. But let's take a look at this, and then we'll go from. So we got open world. This is definitely a timed thing. Or I guess it might be a time thing. It might just be because she's running too. because when I first saw it, I thought maybe it was a timed, like, oh, get there in 80 seconds. But this is M, so it's meters, and so basically I think it's like she's running to kind of show you the action and how fast basically she can go. But I don't know if you, like, once you pick it up, you have to race. And we got some, looks like NPC here. But let me play this first before I start talking. Building stuff at the base and stuff, it looks cool. And here's the UI. I'm just gonna pause. I can't think of things to talk about. But this is the was it the UI they call it? And I know I saw someone's post. They said the UI looks beautiful. Arknights or the Hyperglyph knows how to do this stuff. But here is just kind of like a breakdown too, because like you have the doctor / administrator, the MC, and then you have these three main characters, and then you have this guy, which they don't go into him like picking him to put him in the team, but we see him again. So I don't know. I mean, if we look at because they're using the same symbols they do in Arknights, so it's got here is basically a magician. Got a bunch of swords, or I guess guesses, and then we have a shielder. So I don't know whether this guy is gonna be one of those, like, oh, like in Genshin where you had, oh, you get a guaranteed Noel. If this guy is gonna be the, oh, here's your guaranteed roll, so you can kind of protect yourself. But there we go. Yeah, this is all in what is it? Korean? Arknights is. Yeah, all hail Endfield. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, I think. So it's not in English yet, but since they had English voiceover, it will be. But there you go.
任务不会轻松，相信彼此。但愿能来点像样的对手。需要我先解决哪一边？
我会尽量配合其他人的。
I like this. It's like here's like the detail and stuff to it. Really cool. Really, I like these characters.
要出任务吗？明白了。
It looks like he has a broadsword. Yeah, because we got like it's like we got regular sword, staff, Hanata, and broadsword. Which I don't know exactly how different they're gonna make those, since they all have, for these three, they all have the same icon. But I'm sure they're gonna have their own kits and stuff like that. It won't do exactly the same thing.
我会做好准备的。
做好准备。
And then here's the MC. This is the girl version, but I did see they do have a guy as well, so you can pick who you. Good.
了解。该活动一下了。
Going off some stuff.
全员待机。
Also, too, I really like this part. The fact that it's not just, oh, you and then you have your team and you have to keep flipping between one to get them to be on the field. They are there with you. So this gives a really nice, big, you're going as a group type of feeling to it. It looks like you can definitely switch between the characters, though, because, well, you're going to see when they come up and attack that you are, like, controlling the top one, but then I'm assuming you can shift between and jump around on who you're controlling while everybody else is still continuing to fight. But you can see here. Out of base. Like, the detail on these rocks and the grass and everything, it just looks so nice. Like I said, I'm more of I like stuff a little bit more vibrant, but this just looks you know, very fresh and very, very real. Yeah, was it Synthesia? Like I just looking at this and I can imagine just like smelling the damp water and the fresh grass and everything of this sea. Really, really nice. And then as you see, it's like everybody starts attacking at once. And considering you're probably not controlling every single character at once, this is really nice because it's like, okay, I'm not by myself. Here we go. This, of course, I mean, I don't know exactly how co-op is gonna work, if they're gonna have a co-op, or how they're gonna have a co-op. I mean, I guess it's like if you have like 4 other people, you just have it where it's like, okay, like maybe like with Genshin, so it's like, okay, you have 4 other co-op people with you, then each one of you is controlling your own character, and there you go. And then if it's like, oh, you only have 2 people, then 2 of you get 2 characters to control. But while you have your main characters that are attacking, your, I guess, sub-characters are also attacking as well, just by, you know, AI and such. But then, of course, like I said, by probably pressing these buttons, you can switch one. That's really cool. Also, I like it because it's like you can see some of the effects, but it doesn't look so busy that you're kind of like, I don't know what to look at. The only thing I'm a little worried about is, I'm assuming these blue are the health bar. As you can see, the health bar has gone down, so you probably got to keep a good eye on your other characters. I just saw a break effect, so it looks like they kind of like you break their concentration or their shield or whatever, and then they get kind of stunned, and then you can attack them a little bit more, which is... There's an ultimate. Get the drops, which is good. I like being able to see drops, to be honest, when I'm playing a game, because it makes it more, for me at least, it makes it more like, okay, realistic and stuff, instead of it just being, okay, you went around and you clicked a few buttons and you got stuff. Like, you know, no, this one's like, it's physically quote unquote there. You physically pick it up and you cut, so you can feel like you're really some decent progress, I guess you could say. Progress. A second. Me back. Notice that she was a different. Yeah, I think this is what I was saying, because like right here she's the dragon girl, and I guess maybe this arrow kind of shows like, okay, who's up top or who are controlling specifically, and then the rest are being by the computer. But yeah, really cool, really. Because then she switches back. She switches to the administrator or the doctor, and the little arrow goes up here. I like this. They're moving at a good pace too. I know that there's some open worlds where the characters don't move quickly enough, so it just like takes, you feel like it takes ever to get anywhere. But just, you know, clouds and the water on the road and stuff, it just all looks really nice. Yeah, I don't know whether you're going to be able to put these things down wherever you want, or if it's more of a need to have a specific spot. Because like she didn't get to 80 before they put down that piece. So I'm assuming it's like you can put it within 80 meters, but you don't have to. So meters or miles. Which, if you could put it where you want, that's actually really good, because then like you can sort of like spread out more or keep it more contained. This whole bit too is interesting because you're not going to fall off into this ravine, which is. I can see myself playing on this and just connecting a bunch of these guys and just going around. Like this is just a ride to me. I don't need to go anywhere. I'll just go on this for a while. That'd be kind of fun. Kind of go back to base. Oh, this is another important part too. They have the little, they're like, oh, pick the plants and stuff, which is another thing that I'm kind of like, okay, yes, I like that. I guess it's one of those things that's sort of open world mechanics. But like I said, it makes me, when I can pick them myself like that, it makes me feel a lot more productive. Than like I can keep track of, okay, mentally how many of these things do I have, instead of, oh, my characters went and did this thing when I wasn't looking, and they said they brought back 10, but I don't feel like I have 10, and then I keep forgetting if I have 10, right? That whole idea. But you can go around and pick these things and stuff, which I like. I guess it's one of those, it gives it more realistic type of thing, instead of just being click, 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 and there you go. Which the click click isn't a bad thing, if you're into that type of game. But I'm more of the, yes, go pick up those little sparkles. I don't know what these things are. Unfortunately, since it's in Korean or Chinese, I'm sure that languages. But I mean, when I looked at it, it kind of looks like it's a farm. Like little farm plots, but we'll have to see. Get more info. Oh, we snap up the plants. Yeah. Now this, I kind of wonder what this is. I mean, she did that and then she released a ball here. So I kind of wonder if this is like, what is it, like in Genshin you have the site where you can like track elemental stuff and things. Yeah, so I don't know what this is, but it's definitely like, oh, maybe collect this or mark them or something. Get like one down here, and it looks like they have 5 out of 25. Maybe that's like a upgrade system or something. Oh, that'd be cool though. Oh, it looks like you have a an inventory, but also a like a bank, which that's good. Although I do kind of wonder on how big our pockets are gonna be, because I'm sorry, or I say, if this is the pocket, it looks like it's 11 out of 25, so we'll be able to carry 25 things, and then anything else we're not currently using, we gotta put away in storage, which is a good idea, because then you don't have to like roll through everything. You're like, oh gosh, where is that such and such thing? Got that. Have our map here, which I don't. It's kind of weird. I mean, I guess it's open world, but you definitely also seem to have like trails. Go. I mean, I guess it doesn't necessarily matter, especially if like in the black area it's like just a ravine. So this might be leaning more towards like a Honkai Star Rail version versus like where it's like you can wander wherever you want on the map without like a timer or anything, but you can't like go outside of the walls. Which personally I like ones that you go outside the walls, but as long as it's big enough, you know, like for example, if on here we're the size of the, you know, little tiny speck on here, then it's like, okay, yeah, that's definitely big enough area to travel around. But if we are like, you know, the size of one of these characters, that's going to be a little bit crunched in. Depending on how much space they give us too. Like if you had like multiple of these things, then that's a good. They also shows how they kind of like mark off. I don't know if these are marks that the like tags that the person put down themselves, or whether that's just like on there all the time. But it looks like it shows you up resources. Enfield Industries. We got a screw. Yeah, this is interesting. Okay, this is what I was looking at too when I watched it the first time. You have these bits here, and it has Enfield logo on it, which is like this big screw. Then you look down here, and isn't this Rhode Island's? I mean, it looks like it's for Rhode Island's, so that makes me kind of think on, like, again with the lore, like, okay, how are these two worlds connecting, right? Is this happening at the same time as Rhode Island's? Is it an alternate? Is it like, oh, this is way in the future since we're going to other planets? I mean, they call it Talos 2, so I'm assuming the first planet is Talos 1, or Talos in general. So, excuse me. It's still a little bit early for me. You know, but it's like, I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, it's kind of cool too, because for Enfield, the triangle is facing downward, and for Rhode Island's, the triangle is facing upwards. So that's just really neat. And it kind of looks like you're doing, oh, what do they call it? Not alchemy, but it's basically kind of that same idea. Putting the two things together to make it. I'm guessing this stuff kind of looks like armor. So maybe this is yeah, it's armor. I was trying to think of like how is that connection to like Genshin or whatever, to try and fit in my brain, but it's like it basically looks like it's armor. Like you have gloves here, there's vests, probably to up your defense and HP and attack and so on and so forth. But that's really cool though, that you can make these through collecting up material, help boost your character. I'm gonna say that yellow line was probably, well, yeah, the yellow line probably kind of just shows a safe area where there's like no monsters are gonna fight you, but . really cool. I'm hyped. So I was thinking about watching it first one way through and then stopping and talking, but I was like, I just keep wanting to talk about it. So we'll just go from there. The other thing, right before I started the video, because I was like, oh, I wonder if they're going to have male and female, or how's it going to work? And it looks like we are going to have definitely male. It says administrator. The administrator of Enfield Industries. Rumors claim that the administrator would always show up to turn the tide whenever a major crisis hits Enfield Industries or Talos 2, creating many legends and stories about this mysterious character. The administrator remains an enigma throughout Talos 2. Other factions are well aware that Enfield has a very special trump card in their hand, but that is all they know. As Enfield's most important secret, the administrator is kept in long-term hibernation within a cryostasis pod. Which, that unfortunately has so many implications. Like, I mean, originally in Arknights, the first one, I know that the doctor had been kidnapped and had been put in cryostasis by the enemy, and then we were laying there for that long because Rhode Island couldn't find us, and then they finally found us and rescued us, and we were like, who are you? Because of course we had completely lost our memory. But this one, it's like, what, they just pull you out and then store you when they're not needing you. They put you back in the refrigerator. Make sure you don't go bad. Oh gosh, that would be so weird. But yeah, so here's the two versions. So we have the guy here. We have the guy, so he's kind of like grayish eyes, brown hair. Have his outfit here. Administrator of Enfield. Because I'm thinking, I mean, I'm gonna have to assume that as the administrator, so like the guy in charge or the person in charge, you would be the one whose idea was to put yourself into cryohyperstasis. But we'll have to see how that whole thing goes with the story. But yeah, I like him. He's kind of cute. Looks a little young in this picture. I guess, but who are you? Yeah, and here's the girl, which it seems like they're gonna have them wear those masks over their eyes most of the time, I guess, for like player insert type of thing. But I like her. She looks, you know, she's got sensible shoes and stuff like that. I like how her coat kind of makes it look like it's a skirt and everything. And she's got like manageable hairstyle or haircut type of thing. So, but yeah, I think she looks pretty good. But there you go. So yeah, so really hyped. I know two guys I follow, Chaotix and Unreal Dreamer, are both doing videos on this, and I was gonna watch them, but I was like, wait, let me go do my own video first, and then I'll watch those guys, because I don't want to like steal anything from them by saying stuff that they say. But I would suggest to go watch it because they're really cool. They're good at getting the hype up and stuff. So yeah, so we're gonna take a look. Hopefully, like I said, I mean, hopefully this is the start of like getting the ball rolling, and the whole idea of like, oh, they're gonna have the closed beta and they're gonna do, you know, they're gonna start like incorporating things. I think you can pre-register already. I vaguely remember, I think pre-registering for this. Oh, they're putting the MC on there now. Okay. can subscribe. Subscribe? That button. Oh, okay, latest news. That later. We have the... Wait, let me... Actually... Very cool music, though, by the way. I like that. Yes, we have the main page here with the characters. You can see some of the other characters back here, too. Which, I'm sure we'll figure out all who these are. It looks like there's Angela back there, behind the guy. So, kind of cool, kind of cool. Yeah, and then here's the female, and then here's the guy. Mask. Looks like there's sections for other characters, but they haven't put anything in yet there. I guess oh, what you call it? Concept art. That one. It looks like we're definitely gonna, well, I don't want to say definitely, but it does kind of look like we'll have an indoor area to go as well. Might be a menu. That one. Yeah, so some art. Very pretty. This is neat. This is a neat. Rocks in interesting formations are always really cool. I thought they had a thing for the operators. I thought they had them on here, but I guess they just have these two. I'm trying to scroll up and down, and it's those. But yeah. So there you go. Well, all right. Well, thank you guys for coming and joining me. And tomorrow I will be streaming the Genshin live stream. For those of you who are interested, it's gonna be the 4.2 live stream, and I'm gonna be streaming that. I'm not gonna be streaming any games. I think at least with my model until my new motherboard comes in, because I don't know whether the games just got too big or my motherboard's going bad or whatever, but everything slowed down to a point where I can't even really play the game while streaming with my model on. So we'll have to see. The motherboard, because I have the new CPU, but basically what happened was I bought the CPU and tried to put it in, and it said, "Oh, your motherboard only goes up to Gen 7, and this is a Gen 9 CPU." And I was like, "Oh gosh, I didn't know that." So I had to buy a new motherboard, but then the person I bought it from never sent it, so now I have to buy it from somebody else, and it's in China. So it's going to be coming hopefully in the middle of November. I know that they're probably going to have some Twitch events for Genshin, and I'll be playing that without my model probably, so that game actually properly. But we'll get to there at that point. Okay, well, thank you guys for coming, and I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, okay. See you guys later. Bye. Oh yeah, and all hail Enfield. Woo!